There's a big rule change that's going to go into effect October 15th, and I believe it's going to shake up the real estate world and impact your property's value. You ready to hear about it? Let's go.
Now tuned into the motherfucking greatest.
The champ is here! The champ is here!
I'm on the TV, mama. I'm unbeatable, y'all. Let's go!
Hey, what's up? It's Chris Martin, real estate agent, investor, and coach. And October 15th, there's going to be a big rule change that I feel is going to shake up the real estate market and impact your property's value. So here's what's happening. The inspection contingency. This has been something that buyers have been waiving for really the last 3, 4, 5 years because it's given them an advantage or hope at getting their offer accepted in multiple offer situations where they're waiving their right to perform their home inspection, and sellers are choosing offers that are more favorable to them. And if you've been involved in a real estate transaction, you know that the inspection contingency is the biggest roadblock in a transaction because the buyers can back out of the deal. So typically 3 things can happen with the home inspection contingency in place. The buyer can back out of the deal, they can try to renegotiate, or the buyer can move forward as is. This home inspection contingency period is usually anywhere between 5 and 10 days, and the seller's like on pins and needles, hoping and praying, crossing their fingers and toes that the buyer is going to move forward without changing anything, or they're not going to be trying to ask for too much. But the buyer has the right to do that, or they can walk away from the deal. So as a seller, you don't want anything to do with the inspection contingency. You want that out of the way as soon as possible, or even better, not even part of the transaction. Well, after October 15th, you will have no choice but to have that be part of the transaction, because as a seller, you will no longer be able to have offers on the table that don't have an inspection contingency. All of the offers will have to have an inspection contingency. And even more than that, the buyer cannot communicate to the seller that they won't be doing a home inspection, or the agent can't communicate to the listing agent that my buyer won't be doing a home inspection, accept our offer, don't worry, we're not going to do it, because the reality is that contingency will still be part of the offer, and if the seller accepts it and the buyer decides to do a home inspection, they will have a right to do the home inspection during that time. All right, Chris, yip-de-doo, a home inspection contingency, everyone will have them. Well, it's a seller's market still, because there's still a lot of multiple offer situations. Property's still selling for over asking, and buyers have been used to doing everything they can to try to get their offer accepted, including waiving the home inspection. Now, after October 15th, that will no longer be the case. They won't be able to do that. Therefore, every offer will pretty much be equal playing field when it comes down to waiving a home inspection, because every offer will have it. Well, like I mentioned earlier in the video, 3 things happen during a home inspection contingency. One of them is the buyer moves forward as is, but the other 2 are the buyer renegotiates or they walk away. So if every deal after October 15th is going to have a home inspection contingency in it versus now prior to October 15th, there's a lot of properties that don't, there's a lot of transactions that don't have that contingency in it. Do you think more deals will fall apart after October 15th, or less deals fall apart? The answer is more deals are going to fall apart. More deals are going to be renegotiated. So what does that mean to the real estate industry? It means that property is going to be selling for less than asking more often, and the days on the market are going to increase. Now, this is not a sure thing, but I'm willing to bet that this will be the case after October 15th. It's the logical thing to happen. So as a buyer, this could be a good thing for you. You'll have more opportunities to renegotiate. You won't have to worry about forcing yourself to waive a home inspection when you know that this is something that's important to you. You really want to get a good look at the property before you buy it, before you come out of pocket and have a huge loan on something. You want to have that second look and really see if it's something you want to move forward in. You'll no longer be forced to waive your home inspection. As a seller, not so good news, because now you don't really want to have that buyer that you're under agreement with say that they're walking away from your property. Because if you go back on the market, you might have that same situation happen with the next buyer. And days on the market, once you accumulate days on the market, that's never a good thing for a seller. people start to think, what's wrong with this property? Why hasn't it sold? Why is it sitting on the market? Why did the last buyer back out of the deal? You don't want those questions being asked about your property. So once you secure a buyer, you want to try to keep that buyer. So what are you going to do as a seller? You're going to try to keep that deal in place by renegotiating and making that buyer happy and satisfied and comfortable moving forward. You're going to have to try to do everything you can to not have that property go back on the market. And out of the gate, you're going to have to list your property at a price point that hopefully can still attract multiple buyers. Is October 15th finally the day that the market shifts from being a seller's market to a buyer market? I think there's a good chance that that happens. I think buyers will have more options. I think property will be sitting on the market just a little bit longer, and buyers will then have the leverage to negotiate a little bit more than they do now. This rule could single-handedly shift the real estate market. We're gonna see how fast this rule change actually impacts the market. I don't feel like it's gonna take long. We're gonna keep a close eye on the market and see where list prices actually what they sell for. And we're gonna see if the days on market actually increase. I'll check back in with you guys. If you are interested in buying or selling real estate, definitely reach out and let me know. There's still some good opportunity out there for you. If you're a real estate agent looking for content on how to increase your sales business, check out my YouTube channel, Chris Martin Real Estate, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
What it takes to